Hi, I'm Nimisha. I have been yoga teacher from past 11 years and student of yoga for life. I would like to ask you a question. How many of you know here how to breathe? Please raise your hand. Interesting, we all know how to breathe. This is the idea I wanted to share with you all today, how to make use of your breathing and your yoga as a tool to live your life with more resilience, more happiness, less stress, and less anxiety. Many of you may have an idea about yoga, one which shows yoga as a physical practice, where we are working on our bodies to look like a pretzel. But this is not yoga. Yoga on the mat is all about how to sharpen our self-awareness, resilience, and cultivating grit. Our experience from the mat can help us to create a toolbox to deal with the difficult situations in life. And it all starts and ends how we breathe while doing yoga. Yoga is an ancient practice which was born in India, my motherland. But in today's fast-moving world, yoga has become a synonym word of physical exercise, asana practice. But the asana practice is only one part of yoga. Yoga has 8 limbs. These are 8 foundational pillars of yoga. Without them, yoga will be broken. Yoga, the whole system of yoga will collapse. These 8 pillars provide us a strong foundation to stay grounded when a tsunami or a storm hits in our life. And the fun part is, you can practice all these 8 limbs on and off the mat, from your office chairs to when in the middle of an argument with your partners or your work colleagues. Just imagine a caterpillar. I'm going to name this caterpillar Yoga the Caterpillar. Yoga the Caterpillar has 8 legs. Okay, I know what you all are thinking, that spider has 8 legs, not the caterpillar. So just be a bit creative with your scientific minds and imagine a caterpillar with 8 legs. Okay, the yoga, the caterpillar, will not be able to move without its 8 legs. It needs all its 8 legs to move steady and slowly. But in today's fast-moving world, and in my 11 years of teaching yoga, I have witnessed that we all are working so hard to strengthen the one leg of this caterpillar, which is asana practice, the physical part of yoga, that we overlook all the other 7 legs of yoga. So let's meet all the 8 legs of yoga. The first one is yamas, which are social ethics. The social ethics are kindness, truthfulness, generosity, non-stealing, and self-management. Niyamas are personal discipline where purity, austerity, contentment, self-study, and surrender comes. Then we have asana, which we all are very familiar with, which is the connection of body and mind. Then we have a pranayama, mindful breathing. We have turning inward, patihara. Then we have dharana, which is concentration, focus. Then we have dhyana, letting go. And the ultimate leg, the ultimate goal of yoga is samadhi, the complete harmony of self. All these 8 legs works on and off the mat. Yoga can help us in many different ways in our life, be it in any sudden challenging circumstances or a companion in a long, healing, complex journey. Yoga also has the ability to impact a society, a community, when people take this practice off the mat and turn it into a collective energy. Yoga can be your companion, your friend, who holds your hand until you reach a dark, scary tunnel. I will tell you about a dark, scary tunnel I had to survive. In 2017, I was sitting in an endocrinologist's office holding my 10-month-old baby girl. While doctor was looking at the screen with his worrying eyes, he uttered the words, "We have to do more tests. Seems like you might be having a thyroid cancer. These numbers are way off chart." He checked the bulging lump in my throat and said, "Let's give thyroxine 150 mg to see if this lump reduces in 6 weeks." Those words shook my little perfect world with the 2 young children and 1 supported husband. I left the doctor's office puzzled, disoriented, and worried. Worried about my little kids. What if I will die? Who is going to take care of my kids? And surprisingly, I was more worried about my husband starving, not getting his Indian dishes made by me. After 6 weeks of grief, I realized that it was time for me to really embody my all 8 limbs of yoga on and off the mat. I deeply trusted my body and mind. I practiced mindful breathing, took 1 day at a time, 1 breath at a time. I turned inward by looking at the traumas straight into the eyes by practicing my satya, my truth. I let go of the expectations I have created from my body, from my life. Then I started 2-year-long journey to complete heal my hypothyroid. After a while, the lump was reduced, so there's a possibility of me having a hypothyroid cancer or a thyroid cancer. But I was told that I will be on the medication for my entire life. I was determined to do the work by living my all yoga and its 8 limbs on and off the mat. Journey was uphill, but yoga was helping me tremendously to stay on the path of my healing. And with the help of doctors to wean me slowly from the medication. But the yoga was there, holding my hands all the way through this journey. In the end, I did not even need the medication. That butterfly gland in my throat was thriving, working well on its own once again. During this complex journey, a long journey, yoga provided me a toolkit, which was very vital for my journey. It taught me how to take 1 day at a time, how to cultivate resilience, how to turn inward, self-surrender to the situation, and let go of the expectations I was creating. My caterpillar was moving all on its 8 legs in the process of transforming into a butterfly. Just not in my personal journey, I have witnessed many caterpillars transforming into a butterfly. And each time I see one resilient butterfly, I reassure myself that this system of yoga works. Yoga also can help us to deal with the daily, day-to-day, sudden challenging experiences or situations which arises in our life. Mohanad, my 60-year-old yoga student, was involved in a car accident. The driver of other car was fuming with anger and hurling insults to him. During this time, Mohanad stayed calm, and he offered all the damages, to cover all his damages. Despite of Mohanad being kind and generous, the other driver decided to call the traffic police. Mohanad was deeply connected with his body and mind, which allowed his nervous system not to go in flight or fight mode, which allowed his mind and body to make a logical conversation, make a logical decisions. Mohanad explained in his own words, "Suddenly it occurred to me that as if I was living my yoga off the mat, by fully present with my mindful breathing, by connected with my body and mind, as I would have been on my posture practice." Mohanad weaved his yoga practice off the mat in this difficult situation. His caterpillar was also transformed in a butterfly in this difficult situation, which arose suddenly. Yoga provided a set of skills for Mohanad to just not more aware of his body, but his mind was more resilient too. Yoga is not only influential on individual level, it has the ability to impact a society. When people take this practice off the mat and turn it into a collective energy. The most powerful impact of this practice I have witnessed in 2020 when the COVID hit. In our small community, KAUST, all human connections were restricted. We felt as if we were locked inside our own houses. During this time, I started yoga, virtual yoga, on a pay-it-forward concept, which means you take a class with me and you pay it forward with your generosity, a gesture of kindness and gesture of compassion to yourself or to the others. We saw each other's faces through the screens to remind ourselves that we were not alone in the time of uncertainty. We were not alone in the time of struggle. We set up the intentions to be fully present for that 1 hour and not to think what's coming next. We set up the intention to turn inward and process our fears of uncertainty. By doing so, we all were grounded in the present movement. By doing so, we were all collective practicing on and off the mat. We met 4 times a week, from April to September, in one of the most strange times our generation has ever faced. It was unprecedented time. Nobody was equipped enough to deal with. Yoga during this time provided a toolkit to people to stay resilient in one of the most challenging times. Yoga provided the toolkit, taught them how to take one breath at a time, how to take one day at a time without worrying too much about what's coming next. Virtual yoga became our platform, and life became our mat. Collective energies, people cultivated this collective energies. They turned their collective grief into the collective effort. Yoga taught them how to change this collective effort to a collective energies, to uplift each other, to help each other, and to check on each other often. All caterpillars were in the process of transforming into a butterfly in one of the most challenging times. If I call on you today to start practicing yoga, you might think that you need a mat or you need to follow a YouTube video. That's great. That's perfect. What I'm highlighting today is yoga is more than meets the mat. As yoga has helped me and many of my other students to face my own storms and tsunamis, yoga can help you to face your storms and tsunamis in life. I would like you to invite again to close your eyes and take one deep breath in and out through your belly. Thank you.